Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Ashley, and in today's video we are going to be talking about, the Wet n Wild brush set. So this is the brush set for 2018. I am going to be talking to you guys about the one that came out last year too, so the 2017 collection. The packaging was just like this with the brushes displayed on the front. The actual box was holographic. I have a review on those brushes on my channel. I will link it above. You guys can check out the review on the 2017 brushes. And then I just decided to do a comparison video because I saw these in Walgreens, these brushes. And when I looked at the box, I just looked really quickly and I was like, oh, I already have those brushes. They just changed the packaging or the handle, and I'm not going to purchase those brushes. I took a better look at it on Instagram. One of the girls that I followed actually posted a picture of both brush sets by each side, I think it was. And I don't have all of these brushes in the new box. So I decided to pick this box up and do a comparison video just in case there is anybody that is out there that has the 2017 brushes and wonders if they should get the 2018 brushes, or you just thought that it was the same, and I'm going to be talking to you guys and showing you guys the differences that they do have. So I hope that makes sense, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So these brushes retail for $30. Last year's brush set also retailed for $30, and you do get 10 brushes, and last year's brushes were also a pack of 10. These brushes are cruelty-free and gluten-free. They're vegan. They have the Ergonomic Handle, which is that little dip. Sorry, I'm sick, so if you guys hear me clearing my throat, I know it's nasty, but I'm sorry. But they do also have the Ergonomic Handle, the ones from this year. And the Ergonomic Handle is this little dip that you guys see right here. It's just easier for you to hold your brush, and it's supposed to be a little bit more comfortable. In all honesty, I don't really sit there when I'm doing my makeup and stick my finger in the little dip and then do my makeup. I literally hold my brushes on the bottom. It's a little bit easier. You don't get it as harsh. It's a lot, better. So the Ergonomic Handle, as I used them throughout the year, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. It also says that synthetic bristles mimic the consistency of natural hairs. So it says what brushes you get in it. I'm not going to sit here and talk about them one by one. I'll include a close-up. You guys can pause it and look at what you get. Or you can go ahead and look at the front of the packaging and you'll see what you get as well. So I'm going to start off with the brushes that are the same. And then I'm going to go into the brushes that are new. So you get this big fluffy powder brush. You got it in the 2017 collection, and you also get it in the 2018 collection. I used it today to set my entire face. I've been recently setting my entire face with a loose translucent powder. It just makes my foundation be set, obviously. And then it also helps my bronzer go on nicer, my blush, and my highlight. So this big fluffy brush, I really do like it. And the one as well from last year was really good. I use it for the same purpose. And you can also use it for blush if you guys wanted to use it for blush and you don't set your entire face. So this brush is repeated. I don't mind having two. I feel like it's good that I have two in case one is dirty and I need to set my face or whatever. I have two of the same brushes. So that is a repeated brush from 2017 and 2018. The next repeated brush is this brush. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's a contour brush. I don't use it. I didn't use it in 2017's collection, and I know I'm not going to use it in 2018's collection. It's good to have, if you ever did want to clean up your contour, you can do it with this brush, or if you wanted to actually use it to contour, you can as well. I clean up my contour with my beauty blender. Everything that I could do with my beauty blender, I do it with my beauty blender because I don't want to go and look for a different brush. But this brush, if you did want to use it to clean up your contour, you guys can. But I didn't use it, and it is a repeated brush. Am I mad that it's repeated? No, but you do get that brush again in 2018. The next brush that is repeated is the fluffy highlighter brush. I love this highlighting brush, and I'm so happy that I got a new one in the 2018 collection. I feel like I used it today actually to highlight my face and the tip of my nose. It grabs the product really well and it puts it on your face perfectly. It's fluffy, so it doesn't give you like just one super sharp line of highlight. Like you get to blend it out on the tip of the nose as well. It's a lot easier to use, and I really am happy that they repeated the brush. Another brush that they repeated is this crease brush. If you guys have Sigma brushes, this is kind of like the Sigma E25 brush. It's to get a little bit more into the crease. I did not use these brushes today, but I have used the 2017 brush. It works well. I do like it. Do I reach for these eye brushes more than I reach for my Morphe ones? No. But if you do have these brushes, you can get use out of them. They're not bad brushes. They don't shed. And another thing that I really like about the packaging on these brushes, I don't think I've ever mentioned it, but like I have this Sigma brush right here. You see how the wood is peeled on the bottom? You don't have that happen with these ones because they are metal. I've used them for a year. I've washed these brushes a ton, and the barrel or the handle is really good and it's really nice. But this brush is really good and I do like it, and I think that it's good that you got two. Then the last brush that is repeated is this brush right here. Now, it's kind of a little bit different. The one for 2018 is a little bit longer. This one's a little bit more fatter. I don't know if it's because I used the 2017 one a lot more than the one that just came out, so it looks a little bit different, but they're pretty similar. So I'm gonna say that it's repeated because you can use them for the same exact thing, and they're both fluffy crease brushes. So now I'm gonna get into these brushes right here. Now they're not repeated brushes, but they work for the same exact thing. So the first one is a foundation brush. This one had a dip in it. It's kind of slanted. And then this one you get is a flat top kabuki. This one I have not used. I didn't use. I don't like using foundation with a brush. I like using it with a beauty sponge. I know that you get fuller coverage with a brush, but to me, I don't like the streaks. It takes a lot longer to sit there and blend out my foundation when I use a brush. I do think it's a good brush. If I ever did want to use a brush, I would use these. I think that they're good. And I prefer the flat top kabuki of this year's versus the one that has the dip. And then another brush that you kind of sort of got repeated is this brush right here. They serve for the same purpose. They are shaped a little bit different. This is more like a paddled brush versus this one, which is nice and round. As you guys see, this one's like an oval. But I use this one to bronze up my face, and I'm going to tell you that I'm really obsessed with this brush. I love it so much. It keeps the product in one area versus me using like a fluffier brush for bronzer. It gets it a little bit more everywhere, if that makes sense. But this brush is really good. I really, 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 really like this brush. And I prefer it over the one from last year. So these brushes are from last year's. These ones are from this year's. I'm not going to talk about these ones because there's really nothing to say about them. But in this year's brush set, the ones that you got that were different were these three. Now, this is a fan brush. You can use it for highlighting. I don't like using it for highlighting because it doesn't give me that flawless blend like the tapered one does. This one literally puts it right there and you get a sharp highlight. Like I said, prefer the more fluffier shaped one. This one is good for body highlighting. I included a video on my Instagram where I was highlighting my, I think this is called décolleté, and then my shoulders on Thanksgiving, and I used this brush and it worked really good for that. So that's what I would use that one for. And then you got two flat brushes for your eyeshadow. I don't know why I didn't use these today on my eyes. I used a MAC brush. These eyeshadows that I have are the Wet n Wild ones that they came out for holiday, which are these two eyeshadow palettes. But I didn't use the flat brushes. I completely forgot about them. But I know that they will work well. They are a little bit stiff, but again, these brushes are new, so you're gonna have to like get your use out of them and then wash them and stuff like that to get them a little bit more ruffled up, or not rusty, to get them a little bit more custom, I guess you'd say. I don't know. But you do get a thicker one, which is a fatter one. I know I'm not going to be able to use this on my lids because it is really big. The smaller one, though, I do think that I will be able to get use out of. It's not like a MAC 242. If I got to compare this brush to a MAC 242, this one's a lot bigger. Here's the MAC 242 right here. This one is a lot fatter. This one's a lot more skinnier. And I really do like my MAC 242, but I think that I would get use out of this one. And then this one is really fat. And what I've been doing recently is when I do cut my crease, I do have to kind of tap the concealer a little bit out because it is still sticky. And whenever you apply a shimmer shade on top of a really sticky base, it does move a lot. Like it gets everywhere throughout the day. So you want to take off some of the stickiness. And this is a brush that I have from BH Cosmetics that I have been using for that exact purpose. And it is exactly the same as the Wet n Wild one. So I know that I'm going to be able to use this to tap off that concealer to make it a little less sticky. So I know that I'm going to get use out of this brush. So those were the 10 brushes. I just wanted to show you guys which ones were repeated and which ones weren't repeated. Again, this brush set is $30. It says that it is a $90 value. It did have a sale where you got 50% off, so you could have gotten these for $15. That happens every year. So for 2019, if you guys are interested in the brush set, make sure you get it when it's for $15 because I really do think that their brushes are worth it. I do use them frequently and I do think that I do get my money's worth. And then again, the packaging of these brushes is really nice. It's not like a wood brush, if that makes sense. So do I think that it is worth it? I do think that it is worth it. If you guys do have last year's set, I do think that you're still going to get a couple of brushes in this year's set that are really good. Even if you do get repeats, the repeats are good brushes as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that it helped you. Please subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, and I will see you all in my next video.